Hey, what's up everyone, Raging Golden Eagle here, having way too much fun as always. The exact opposite of the guy we're gonna be talking about this time. Last video we took a nice little fun awesome break, but now it's straight back to the bullshit. Texas man orders to pay $65,000 in child support for a kid who isn't his. Man, could you guys imagine this type of bullshit for pretty much any other crime? Oh yeah, sure, we know you can prove that you didn't murder that guy. We saw the video that you were in another state at the time. But we're still gonna hold you responsible for this murder anyway. How long do you think that would fly before there was a violent revolution, huh? But anyway, this one's actually even better. A Texas man is battling a court order that mandates he must pay tens of thousands in child support for a child he did not biologically father and who he only met once. Yeah, so in this case, they can't even pull the, oh, but he was a father figure to the kid excuse either. He only met the kid one time. No way in hell could any type of actual bonding have occurred during that time. And to the surprise of nobody, as with every other case of this nature, it all goes back to a woman lying. In 2003, a child support court in Texas ruled that Gabriel Comejo, 45, had to pay child support to his ex-girlfriend who had recently given birth because she vowed that there was no way he wasn't the rightful dad. So now there's evidence that she's a lying cunt, and there's nothing he can do about it. She's not gonna face any type of legal repercussions for ruining this guy's life. Now, seeing shit like this, seeing an innocent man, a man who can prove his innocence, getting fucked over, while the actual criminal in the matter gets pretty much legal immunity, with all this shit happening, is it any wonder why a growing number of people have zero faith in our legal system? Though on the plus side, at least nowadays people are willing to talk about it more, which is a lot more than we could say of a few years ago. And damn, this story gets even better. Apparently, this guy had no knowledge of the whole situation up until recently. Comejo, who is currently raising 3 children of his own and 2 nephews, claimed that he was not made aware of this and only found out about the child support payments last year when a deputy served him court papers claiming that the state of Texas lists him as having another child. He soon met the minor for the first and only time, describing her as a wonderful girl, but after taking a DNA test learned she was not his after all. So gotta give the dude credit for that at least. He went straight for the DNA test. That saves him going forward, but not so much going backwards. Because according to the Texas broken-ass legal system family code, chapter 161, even if one is not the biological father, they still owe support payments that accrued before the paternity test proves otherwise. In Comejo's case, that amounts to some $65,000. Now let me just make clear again why this is upper levels of bullshit right here. A lying bitch can just decide to put you down as the father of a kid, you don't get informed of this at all, then 15 years later the law comes after you demanding that you pay, and at that point, even if you say like, dude, I'm a virgin, no way I could have had that kid, and you do a DNA test and prove it, you still have to pay for those 15 fucking years. And the lying cunt that's putting you through this gets absolutely no punishment whatsoever. Again, is there any wonder why there is an ever-decreasing amount of trust and faith for our legal system? How the hell can anyone have faith in a system that holds you accountable for something even after you can prove that you had nothing to do with it? However, though, this case does get a little bit interesting. The ex-girlfriend's attorney claimed that money was taken out of his paycheck several years ago and he didn't contest it. And that in itself can satisfy a court argument that he should have handled the matter long ago. Yeah, this is one I'd actually like to have more information on. The article unfortunately doesn't get into it. Perhaps he didn't notice that the money was taken out of his paycheck? I highly doubt that because usually they take quite a bit, but it's possible. Maybe he thought it was something else. I mean, he has 3 other kids. Maybe he thought it was for another one. Maybe the lawyer is lying even, I don't know. But that is something I would like to hear more about. But that aside, regardless of what actually happened here, it still doesn't change that it's total fucking bullshit that he can prove he is not the father and yet he is still expected to pay. That entire law just needs to be scrapped. How the hell does something like this ever make it to law in the first place? Down in Texas, they literally have a law that says even if you prove the kid is not yours, you still have to pay all the money that accrued before you proved it wasn't your kid. What the hell kind of drugs were those retard politicians smoking when they wrote that law in the first place? How has that shit not been declared blatantly unconstitutional by now? How does this not count as cruel and unusual punishment even? And even better, it's punishment for something he didn't even do. And now the only hope for this guy is to rely on this same broken-ass legal system, although in this case a different judge. Comejo and his attorney must now persuade a judge to reopen the case, as the original court order cannot be amended. If that doesn't happen, he must pay up or face time behind bars. I'm not kidding, man. It's cases like this that kinda make me understand why some guys murder their exes. Just like what Chris Rock said about OJ. I'm not saying they should have done it, but I understand. And unfortunately, this guy has at least 5 dependents, too. Cause if it wasn't for that, I'd be saying like, hell, just do what a bunch of other guys do and just leave the fucking country then. Go to Vietnam or Cambodia or something and just stay there. Nothing this broken-ass legal system can do to you then. So yeah, with all of these blatantly anti-male laws on the books, declaring you financially liable for something you can prove you are innocent of, you guys have no reason to be butthurt when men just decide to drop out of the system. System doesn't give a fuck about us, we don't give a fuck about it right back. That's all I gotta say, guys. Thanks for listening.